we only have this for 45 minutes since I don't pay for it, so I don't want us to lose too much time. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of jump in and go over some things. I know some of this might be review for some of you, and so I won't spend a lot of time on too much of the major basics, but I just want to kind of touch on everything just in case there's something that someone maybe hasn't heard or isn't comfortable with and they have questions. So if you guys have any questions, I'm going to put everybody on mute. But if you have any questions, just unmute yourself, or you can chat in the chat box, either way, and I'll see it. Okay? You guys can still hear me, yeah? Okay. So over the next 30 days, our goal is to obviously just kind of get you guys as comfortable as you can. As comfortable as you can be to kind of really jumpstart your business as a coach. And so I'm going to set some goals for us over the next 30 days to try to work towards, to feel comfortable with, and then we're going to learn little things along the way also. So our big goals for the 30 days is for each of you to run your own challenge group. Now, you don't have to do that alone. You can do that with me, or you can do that with your personally sponsored coach, or you can team up with another new coach and run it together. Or you can do it yourself. If you're comfortable and you have a few ladies and you just want to jump in, that's how I was. I'm kind of a control freak. So I tried to do my first group with another coach, and I struggled with that. And then I found a different coach from the Boss Ladies that I ran several groups with, and we worked better together. But I still just like to be in control. I'm just going to be honest. So that's just what works for me. But I am happy to run a group with you. I'm starting my next group November 1st, but then we will decide between now and 30 days from now. You guys need to each pick a date that you want to start your own group, and that's what we're going to shoot for over the next 30 days. So if you guys want to write that down, that's going to be your big goal. So does everybody know and understand what a challenge group is, right? You guys have all been in one and or run one, so you guys know what that looks like. Do you know that in the Coach online office, they have challenge groups completely mapped out for you based on the program that your challengers could be doing? So you can have a group that's all doing like 21 Day Fix, or you can have groups that are multi-programs, and they have guides back there for both. Have you guys seen that? All of you have seen that? Okay. We also have, are all of you added into the Boss Ladies group, or just the Revolution? Do you know? If you don't, that's the one that Josie runs. The Boss Ladies is the one that Josie runs. If you're not, let me know and I can add you. She has pinned at the top of the group a assignment swap. So a lot of coaches posted their most favorite assignments from their challenge groups. So that way we can just kind of use each other's ideas, so we don't have to always be creative on our own. So if you're planning out your group, definitely that's a great place to find some ideas too. And also in the files in both the Revolution and the Boss Ladies, there are different challenge group templates too. Okay? So that's going to be kind of our big goal for the 30 days. So to kind of reverse engineer that, we need to start talking to people and finding people to join those groups, right? So that's kind of what we're going to talk about a little bit tonight. Next Monday, I'm going to do a live power hour with you guys. Our Zoom call is going to be, we're just going to go through what I do in my power hour and how I do my daily fours. So that will be really good to not miss, because that'll help you guys kind of see how it's run, and then you can take it from there and make it your own. So I have been doing this for a year, and I have done a lot of trial and error with all of it, and I'm still learning. I mean, and it's never going to be something that you just have perfected, I don't think, because of just the nature of the business. But when I started, I created a like page right away. That was what my coach encouraged me to do. That's what she had done. And I came up with a catchy name, and I launched that. And then I started inviting my friends to like the page, my friends and family, and tried to grow it from there. I I'm trying to remember. I did a giveaway. I did a few giveaways to try to help increase my likes, but I never have had success from that page. I have now like 12 or 1,300 followers, which is not very much. I've paid to boost posts. I've paid to run ads. I've done giveaways. I share it on I used to post on my like page only, and then I would share stuff to my friend page to try to get more interaction, and it just didn't work for me. There are some coaches that their like page it thrives, and that's how they run their business. But from what I have found more recently and doing some research and talking to some coaches from some other teams, is most teams don't encourage their new coaches to start a like page right away because it's super frustrating. It's like a puzzle that nobody can quite figure out. The algorithms change often. And to be honest with you, when they first launched the like page, it's a completely free service, to run a business off of. But Facebook is not stupid. They obviously want a piece of that pie. So now they're going to charge, they limit your views unless you're going to pay to run ads and stuff, right? Well, as a new coach, and I still consider myself to be, I can't do that. I can't justify spending hundreds and thousands of dollars to do that. Now, I will, on occasion, boost a post for a couple dollars here or there, just to get it in front of more people. But I have really taken my focus off of my like page and I'm doing everything now from my friend page. I haven't completely shut my like page down because I eventually am going to need it, because Facebook only allows you to have so many friends, and as I grow, I'm going to tap out. So I'm going to eventually need a like page, but right now it is not my primary focus. But I don't want it to go stagnant, because I want to make sure that when I do have to transition, people aren't like, okay, it was ghost town for like 6 months and now, there's all this stuff. So I do still post my 3 or 4 posts on there every day, but I do so much more on my friend page. So you guys can take that and do with that as you will. Sorry, Sophia, where are you? But I just wanted to kind of give you from my experience, all my customers and all of my business has really come from my friend page. And the reason I transitioned was because, so are you all familiar with the vital behaviors? So inviting, being a product of the product, personal development, and now the new one is recognition. So the inviting process and the daily 4s, they encourage you in order to build up your network page to your network every day. So that's what I was doing. I was adding 5 to 10 new friends to my friend page every day, yet I was trying to run my business from my like page. Well, all of my new friends, they aren't seeing my like page because they don't automatically like my page just because they became my friend, because they're 2 completely separate entities. So it just light bulb moment one day. I'm like, why am I not putting this information in front of all of these new people? Because the way that Facebook algorithms work is anytime you are a new friend of someone or anytime you interact with someone, your posts are going to show up in their newsfeed. So I don't know if you've noticed that, but if you message someone privately, or you just added someone as your friend, or you comment or like on their stuff a lot, that's who you see their post of in your newsfeed. Okay, so that's why I'm like, I don't understand why I'm doing it this way. So I decided to change. Now I still will post once a month or once every couple of months on my friend page, hey, to follow my journey, like this page, and I will link my health and wellness page. But I still do the majority of my business on my friend page because I want to get in front of those new people. So does that make sense to everyone? Does anyone have questions about that specifically? Yes, no, maybe, no? Okay. The only thing, there's 2 things about the friend page is A, you can't advertise. So it's strictly you finding new people to send a friend request to, and they have to accept. So in the beginning for you guys, you're going to be in your hot and warm market for a long time, because you're going to, even though you may not know someone specifically, You may have known them 10 or 15 years ago, or you may have 20 or 30 friends, mutual friends in common. So in my opinion, that's still a pretty warm market. I am now tapped out of my warm market and I am into my cold market. And it's a lot harder to get them to accept my friend requests because they're like, why? Who is this? I'm so sorry, you guys. Give me one second. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. She's like screaming and he's like playing a video game and I'm like, gotta take her. Okay, sorry. So, and the second thing is Facebook discourages you from running a business on your personal page. They could shut you down. So I do make sure I'm very careful when I post. And in general, as a rule, we don't come right out and sell. I have some friends that do Thrive, and I think it's Plexus. Is that one? And I mean, it's just constant sell, 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 sell. And I'm like, oh. So if you're going to do it on your friend page, don't do that. Just be careful and be mindful. So that kind of leads me into the next subject, which is the difference between being a good coach on social media and a not good coach on social media. So the first tip is we definitely want to make sure we're sharing, not selling. So just whatever you're doing, share that. If you are not and have never done size, don't talk about it, because that's not, you're just trying to sell it at that point. Don't just talk about whatever's on sale because it's on sale. You need to share what you're doing. So if you're doing 21-day fix, talk about that, share that, explain what you're doing, talk about the nutrition, talk about your workouts, but just share your journey. And that's going to be the best way to build momentum and to get people to really follow you. Don't use stock pictures. Right now, Core de Force is getting ready to launch. And if you guys follow any number of coaches, you have seen the pictures of the trainers doing the jabs probably 87 million times. Everyone, because we haven't had a way to do it ourselves to have our own pictures to share. But in general, you need to be in the picture. You need to take a picture of yourself doing the workout and talk about it from your standpoint. Does that make sense? I did a lot of stock photos when I first started because I didn't know any better. And we are like that branding video. I hope you guys all saw that I posted last week. It's all about, we are our product. People are going to buy us and our story. So they need to know your face. They need to see your face and get familiar with your face and learn to trust you so that they then want to join you. So I would recommend, if you guys have a like page and you want to work from that, that's totally fine. But I'm going to recommend whatever you post it in both places rather than posting it in one and sharing it in the other, because Facebook will limit your views if you do that sometimes, because they think that you're trying to share business. And because of the way the algorithms work, 9 times out of 10, it's not going to show up in front of the same person back to back in their news feed. So they're just going to assume they already saw it as they're scrolling through. They're not going to know or realize, why the heck is she posting this twice? Unless they choose to follow you. You can set up the way you follow someone, and you can say, I want to see their post first in your newsfeed. Unless they choose to do that, they're not going to know that you've posted it in both places. So just from my own personal experience, I would suggest doing a lot of your stuff on your friend page to start off with, or both. But don't just do it on your like page if you're brand new, because I'm afraid you're going to get frustrated and you're going to get discouraged and you're going to want to quit because there's not going to be the interaction there that you need or that you're hoping for. Now, when you get to a place where you start to build momentum and you start to make some sales and you start to get some customers, it's encouraged for you to take a percentage of that and create a marketing budget. And at that point, then you can, set up stuff on your like page and run an ad for $5 for a couple of days to get it in front of it. And you can pick your audience and you can get it in front of new people. That's deeper than we're going to go in this 30 days, but just there is a ton of training on that on YouTube and Google. So if that's something that you're interested in doing, you can definitely find that on the internet for sure. Anything you want to know, you can find on YouTube pretty much. Okay, do you guys have any questions about any of that so far? Are any of you planning to just work off of Instagram first and not Facebook? Or are all of you on Facebook first? Facebook? Yeah, okay. I'm just kind of getting my feet wet in Instagram. I post there just to have a presence, but I haven't really gone in and dove into the hashtags and the finding people. I need to, because it's free. Instagram is free with the hashtags, so I should be doing more of that versus getting frustrated with my like page, but I just haven't had time to sit down and really figure that out. Okay, let's see. Sorry, I have some notes here. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, so like I said, next week we're going to do a live power hour so you guys can kind of see how that's broken down and see what that looks like. So I encourage you to jump on with us next week. So for those of you, I know Chelsea and Christy work full-time. Heather, are you home? You're home. Okay. Michelle, are you home or do you work? I don't know if I know this. I can't. Here, I'll unmute you. Okay. If you were talking, we couldn't hear you. You're home?
No, I work.
You work full-time? So I don't work full-time. I'm home. This is my full-time thing. But what I'm going to suggest is to not overwhelm yourself. For those of you that do work, is just to try to give yourself 15 minutes, maybe in the morning, and 15 minutes in the evening to start. I know they suggest a power hour, and that's what you want to work up to. But just so you're not so overwhelmed, you can really do what you need to do in 30 minutes if you really, really laser focus. So that's what I would recommend. I would also recommend taking some time on the weekends to kind of plan out what you want to talk about and what your posts are going to look like so that it's easier for you to just do your 3 to 5 posts a day. And you can schedule, there's programs out there you can schedule it on your like page. It's built in that you can schedule them, but on your friend page, there's not a way. Uh-oh, we lost Chelsea. Her silly internet. Okay, so everybody knows what Success Club means, yes? Yes. Christy, is that a yes? Okay, so everybody knows our goal is Success Club 5. Just be slow and steady in the business. And if you really want to hit the ground running and build fast, your goal is Success Club 10, okay? And so we know that for each pack, we get 2 points, and for Shakeology only, you get 1 point. So we're looking to help 3 to 5 people join us in the next 30 days for your challenge group. So what I would suggest is making that challenge group date goal that you have towards the end of the 30 days so you have this whole training time to fill it. Does that make sense? And I don't know what the special is going to be next month, but I do know that Quarter Force obviously will be on special because it's new, but I don't know if they're going to do with something else too. This last 2 months, they've had everything on sale, which has been nice. So that's going away at the end of this month. Okay, so just a couple of tips for you guys for your posting. So the rule of thumb across the board is post 3 to 5 times a day. To figure out your brand, pick what you kind of want your posts to talk about. So it's not all Beachbody, or it's not all about family, or it's not all about whatever your things are. So I post about my religion or my faith. I post about my family. I post about Beachbody. And then I don't do as well as I should, but I also like to, I like to cook and create new things. I like hair and makeup, stuff like that. So I try to trickle that in as I can. I should do more of that, but I don't do much. I don't leave my house a lot. I don't get ready a lot. So I don't have a lot of reason to talk about my favorite dry shampoo or whatever, because anyway, I need to do more of that. So there's a book called The 10X Rule, and he is talking about just taking everything 10X and really just blowing your business out of the water. And so he's like, you need to be posting on social media 10 to 12 times a day. Get in their face. And if someone says it's too much, then that means you're doing a perfect job and post more, which Okay, that's a little extreme one way, but if you're able to, I mean, the more the better. The more you get in front of people's faces, the more they're going to have the opportunity to like and comment on your stuff, then the more they're going to continue to see your posts and see what you're doing. So that's not necessarily a bad thing. But just the basics, I would start with at least 3 posts, morning, lunch, and evening. And don't have it be all Beachbody or all family or all motivational quotes. Okay? Oh, she's back. Hi. And then, make sure that in all of your posts, you're adding value. So I thought I was doing great, posting my sweaty selfie every morning and talking about my workout, but who gives a shit what I'm doing? I mean, nobody cares. That doesn't help their day to see that I got up at 5 and did my workout. So now I try to give a tip, or if I talk about something I'm eating, I try to explain if there's a benefit to whatever food it is. Just add value so people are interested in what you're doing and what you're talking about. And when I started doing that, I had people commenting and saying, I wish you should write a book and a grocery list on how to feed a family of 5 on a budget, and just had questions. And so I was like, okay, so they are paying attention to what I'm doing, and now I'm giving them something, I'm adding value, so that's they're seeking out my posts. Does that make sense? I also like to post either funny quotes or motivational quotes a lot. And I'm trying really hard to, instead of posting the motivational quote, posting my face and adding the motivational quote into whatever the story or whatever the post is I'm saying, instead of it just being the post. That's been really hard for me, but I'm trying to do that so that it's, again, my face in front of them more than just a stock photo or a motivational quote. So just anything you can do to get yourself in front of them and to add value and to build that trust with your followers, that's, what you want to do. So one of the calls I listened to about that, she's like, ask yourself every time, who would anybody other than my sister or my best friend care about this post that I'm about to make? And if the answer is no, then don't make it. Now, since I run my business on my personal page, not every single post is like that, because not everyone cares about my kid, but my family and friends do. So I post stuff about her because she's so cute. So, I mean, in that instance, it's not necessarily adding value, but they are getting a glimpse into my life, and they are going to be able to see me and my family, and they are building that trust to know I'm a real person and I'm not just some kind of robot or whatever, right? So that's really important. But just making sure that you're being consistent is the key factor. I talked about this the other day in the Revolution. Just think about it. If you opened a lock and key business and someone came to your coffee shop every day to get coffee, and then all of a sudden for 9 days you weren't open, they're not going to come back and try anymore. They're going to move on to the next Beachbody coach because there's a million of us. So just be consistent, show up every day, say what you're going to do, and do what you're going to say. And then, it's going to take time, and it'll slowly build from there. Okay, looks like we have 10 minutes left. Okay, so your goal this week is for you guys to, if you haven't done this already, is for you guys to launch your business to the world. So I want you to think of a post, and I want you to come up with a picture of yourself, and I want you to announce to the world that you're doing this. But I don't want you to do it in a creepy, I'm a Beachbody coach now, salesy way. I want you to just talk about, I'm on this journey, I'm doing fill in the blank, whatever program you're doing, and I would love for you guys to join me. I need some accountability partners. I'm ready to get, even healthier for the holidays, whatever, your words. Don't use my words. But I don't want you to come out and say, I'm a Beachbody coach. If you want to try 21 Day Fix, call me. Don't say that. But say, I'm doing this and I would love for you to join me, kind of thing. Like, think of it in that way so it's not so salesy. Okay, so that is your assignment for this week, is to come up with a launch of your business. And you want to put a call to action in that post. So you want to say at the end, if you would like more information, comment below or private message me or put your email, whatever you're going to use as a way for them to reach out to you. Make sure that's in there in the post, okay? And you want your first line or two to be the most important information of the post, because that's what people obviously see when they're scrolling through their newsfeed. They're reading the headline first before they go into the whole thing. If you want to type a long story, that's fine. But just make sure your top 1 or 2 sentences is really eye-catching or going to grab their attention. You know, use some emojis if you're an emoji kind of person, or something to just get people's attention. Okay? Does that make sense? Okay, so let's see. Do you guys all have your Facebook friend page made public? Do you know? Because that is another thing you'll want to, if you're going to be posting from your page and for people to be able to find you, you want to make sure your page is public. Now, if you're a more private person and you don't want everyone to see everything, you can go in and make groups for people to see. So if you wanted to post a picture of your kids and you don't want the whole world to see it, you can say, I only want this group of people to see it or whatever. So there is that option. I know we've had some, in the Revolution, we've had some like teachers and different like police people that don't want everyone seeing everything, which I completely understand that. So from a privacy perspective, you can make those changes on there for sure. Make sure that your profile picture is of you and that it's crisp and clear and that you have good lighting. That is something we're going to talk about probably on week 3, is digging into like PicMonkey and how you can edit pictures and make like cool pictures with words and all kinds of stuff. I'm not an expert by any means, but I have some expert-ish videos that I have found that I'll share. Okay, so have you guys, any of you started doing your inviting or connecting or adding friends? Have you guys dove into that at all? Yes? Okay. So I have, in the back office, there is what's called the Business Activity Tracker. I've never used that, but it is suggested as a new coach to use that. And so I'm going to print it off and just see what it looks like. But for now, and we'll dig into this a little bit more next week, but I'm just going to share with you kind of what I'm doing that's works for me. So I bought some colored pens, which makes me happy. And so every day, this is my daily 4s. And this is what we're going to talk about next week, but I'm just going to kind of show you. So now that I have tapped into my cold market, I send 15 friend requests a day because I'm hoping that 5 to 10 will actually accept. But for you guys that still are in your warm market, you know, Facebook gives you those suggested friends. Start there. I personally don't add men because I don't choose to work with them in my groups. But if you want to do that, I mean, it's your business, you do whatever you want. But I just go through, and if it's a female and they look like they're kind of my niche of person, so they might be a mom or kind of, they're not like super young, or, you know, like more my age group, then I'll just add them as a friend and then go from there. So your initial ad is to add 10 friends a day. Yes, I'm trying to remember. 10 friends a day on your personal page. And then for me, the way that I do it is that I connect with 10 people also, and that is a non-Beachbody private conversation. If there is something that prompts me to send them a private message, if there's not, then I just will like and comment on their stuff, because even that interaction is going to get my posts in front of them in the newsfeed. So if you're not comfortable sending a private message, then at least start with liking and commenting on their stuff. I have found that some people don't post on Facebook as often as I do. So when I go through to like and comment on their stuff, if they haven't posted anything for a week or two, that is obvious that I'm stalking their page, because that's not going to organically come up in my news feed, a post from 2 weeks ago. So I don't want to like a bunch of stuff because that's going to make me look creepy. So for them, I'll just find something in their profile picture, or if they have children, and use that as a reason to send them a private message. And my personal messages are just very simple. I like to connect with other moms. How old are your kids? Or I just moved to Texas last year. I'm trying to meet local moms. How long have you lived here? They're very simple and not creepy. At least I try not to make them creepy. And then, you know, inviting 5 people and following up with 5 people. So we're going to really dig into what the inviting looks like next week, but that's what I do. So I date my page, and then tomorrow I'll do the same thing, and the next day I'll do the same thing. And then after I do that, when I get to my follow-up, I flip back 3 days and I will follow up with the people that I invited 3 days ago. And then I will send an invite to the people that I connected with 3 days ago if the conversation didn't automatically lead to that. So don't overthink it and don't make it hard. Just flip back and just keep your same little circle of people that you're dealing with. Does that make sense? So I have a notebook, and my plan is to just get a new notebook, a one subject notebook every month. Now I have also printed off my Facebook friends list, and this has been like life-changing for me. I don't know why. I never thought of doing this before, but it prints it off in alphabetical order by their first name. And I literally am just going down the list. I'm starting at the top, and I'm going to their page, and I'm seeing if I've ever talked to them before or if I've ever invited them before. And I'm just starting to form them and send them messages and whatever. And then it helps me if they're already a coach, I can mark them out. Or I have not been connecting with people that do other weight loss company stuff. Now, I will maybe like or comment on some of their stuff, so I'm in their news feed, so when they realize that their other company stuff doesn't work, maybe they'll come find me, but I don't private message them and try to really build or invite them. I just think that's weird. But, I mean, some people might have different opinions on that. So, anyway, there is a link in the Revolution on how to do this if you guys want, but it has just made things so much easier. So, like, when my daughter wakes up from her nap, I can take this list with me on my couch with my phone and just go down the list, and I don't have to have my whole spread with my laptop and my green notebook and all my colored pens. You know, I can just kind of start just going through and connecting with people. So that's been really awesome for me. I'm super excited about that. I'm on page like 3 of 37, so it's going to take me a while to circle through. But anyway, I was excited about that option. And Josie had mentioned that on a call, and I was like, oh, I don't know why I never thought of that before. So I'm going to encourage you guys also this week to just add 5 new friends to your Facebook page every day for this week. Start there. If you're not comfortable with the second step until we do the full power hour next week, that's fine. But just start adding new friends to your page to fill up, to start building your network so you can get in front of new people. And just a rule of thumb from my own professional side, if they have mutual friends that are coaches and they're not a coach, I don't add them, and I don't pursue them in any way. So you can do what you want, but that's just, I feel like that's respectful to not do that, because eventually you're going to start getting friend suggestions from people that are friends with other coaches that aren't coaches, and I don't want to take business from someone like me. I feel like that's rude. So that's just my own opinion. Okay, who's reading personal development right now? Anyone? I am. No? Okay.